Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. In today's story, OP's partner keeps stealing her snacks, so she decides to get a lockbox where she basically locks her snacks so that their boyfriend doesn't have access to it. However, said boyfriend really does not like this idea and things blow up really quickly. Stay tuned for the update because that's where things go crazy. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And again, I just wanted to take a second and thank everyone who subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. For those who don't know, I have a personal goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. And if you like my content and would like to support me, your subscription would really help. Anyways, thank you for your time and on to the story. I got a fridge lockbox and it's destroying my relationship. Some background. My boyfriend, who's a 28-year-old male, and I, a 25-year-old female, have been together for 5 years and we've lived together for 3. Our relationship was great, truly. We have a joint account where we contribute to monthly to handle joint expenses like rent, groceries, etc. Everything else is split. My boyfriend is 6'3", 200 pounds and works out daily. He eats a lot to keep up his caloric intake, which is fine, except for this one issue. We buy snacks and he always eats my half before I can even get to it. Normal food and ingredients he's fine with, but if it's quickly accessible, I'll never get any. We argue, he apologizes, rinse and repeat. This is literally the only bad thing he's done. Seriously, in all other aspects of our relationship, he's respectful and considerate. Snacks are where all bets are off. Anyways, last week I lost it after he finished an expensive cheese we had gotten that I really was looking forward to eating. It was all gone after an hour. I lost it. I didn't speak to him for a day and ended up ordering a fridge lockbox. After our next snack run a couple of days later, I divided each snack in half and locked mine in the lockbox. From his reaction, you'd think I was murdering a puppy. He said it was disrespectful and controlling, and how dare I keep food that he paid for from him. When I reminded him that my money went into it too, he screamed that he didn't give an F and then left. He slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall and broke. He didn't come back until the next day, but that was to change for work and leave immediately. He came home late and went straight to the guest room. 4 days of this. I broke last night and asked him to please talk about it, and he said that he had nothing to say to me until I got rid of the lockbox. Honestly, I'm completely appalled at this reaction, and I'm genuinely worried that he might be on something or having a mental break or something. This is the most irrationally I've ever seen a grown man act. He's ignored me only to randomly ask if I've gotten rid of the lockbox. I'm not getting rid of the lockbox. We're supposed to renew our lease next week. I'm considering cutting my losses and just leaving. Is this relationship even worth salvaging? Is there anything I can do to solve this? He's refusing to communicate unless I get rid of the lockbox, which is not happening. One Redditor commented, "Does he have an ED or a bad history with food? In any case, I would be scared of him after that. If you break up, do it carefully and make sure people know where you are." To which OP replied, "I don't know. He's always been a huge gym enthusiast our whole relationship. I've never seen him count calories or restrict foods. He just eats when he's hungry. He doesn't binge or eat fast. He's very conscientious of how much he's eating. I think he genuinely just has a big appetite and likes snacks. And yeah, this behavior's been scaring me. He hasn't been physical at all, but the screaming really got to me." Another Redditor said, "So how big was the cheese though? Cheese is salty and I don't see how eating a whole piece of cheese is okay. I like cheese a lot and I wouldn't do that. Maybe he's not eating correctly for how much he exercises and that's why he's so hungry." To which OP replied, "It wasn't huge, around 4 ounces, but it was specialty cheese, so around like $12. Again, a lot to eat in one sitting, but not so much for him, I guess." Another Redditor commented, the lockbox is not what's destroying your relationship. Is he maybe taking steroids? Do you know who Chris Benoit was? To which OP replied, I just looked him up. It's an absolutely terrible story. You're not the first to bring up steroids. I don't even know how to begin dealing with this if he's on steroids. Another editor commented, are you sure he never showed any other signs of toxic behavior, even if it was slight? For someone to go from 0 to 100 in that short amount of time is insane unless there are drugs at play. Road rage, anyone? You should sit down and think if you can remember anything else off about him during the whole 5 years. I agree that you should seek therapy after all that, and hopefully in a few years' time you can make the whole what's in the box jokes. To which OP replied, definitely going to be rethinking the past 5 years of my life. This sucks. Hey guys, I don't know if anyone wanted an update, but here it is. A lot happened. My boyfriend kept staying out late and refusing to talk, so I tried to talk to my boyfriend about the lockbox again, and I mentioned that I didn't think the lockbox was the real issue, but he was a brick wall, insisted that it's abusive and controlling to deny him food. I kept pushing, asking if he was on something or cheating. I said him flipping out over something so small and staying out at all hours was suspicious as hell. I said that I thought that he was using the lockbox as an excuse to be out of the house doing something bad. Me saying that unleashed an hour-long screaming tantrum that ultimately resulted in him throwing my MacBook against the wall and shattering it. Honestly, I really thought he was going to hurt me. So yeah, I called my dad, who called the cops. I don't want to get too into the legality of it, but I'm pressing charges for destruction of property. It was a $2,500 laptop. Dad and my godfather moved me out yesterday, and I'm now looking for a new place. I don't have a lot except for clothes and a couple of kitchen appliances. I left the lockbox, but took my snacks with me because of him. I left it locked too though. Ex-boyfriend has been spamming me. I'd block him, but I feel like I need this for evidence in case his behavior escalates. I texted him the first night that we were done, took our photos down and everything. He began ranting at me. Here are some gems. Raging about how I still didn't get rid of the lockbox, asking for stuff he gifted me back, telling me I owe him money and rent for his new place, that I owe him a car. I have no idea why he would say this. I've never even driven his current car. And that my MacBook was old and worthless and he wouldn't pay for a new one. I bought it last year, brand new. After about an hour, I guess he realized that we were actually broken up and he couldn't put me down anymore. Then came the paragraphs about how he was going to marry me, he loves me, he wants to be better for me, that I can keep the gifts and that he'll buy me a better MacBook. He freaked out over seeing that I took our pictures down from social media. He then started sending me screenshots of his Google searches of engagement rings and telling me to pick one. He also sent a couple of voice messages of him just sobbing. Any respect I had for him as a person is just completely gone. I want nothing to do with him. I don't care if he's having a breakdown or something. He's not my problem. I screenshotted his messages and forwarded them to his mother. She can deal with her son. That's the most I'll ever do for him again. As for me, I'll be okay. I have some savings, so taking on full rent for a place as well as deposits and fees wouldn't be too much. This has been a weird week. I feel like I should be sad, but like I said, I lost all respect and I don't feel anything but disdain for him. My parents have been buying me my favorite comfort snacks and being super supportive. They're gently pushing for therapy and I think it's probably a good idea. I'll start my search once I'm settled in a new place. So guys, what did you think about this? I personally am okay with sharing my snacks with other people, but I understand that this was a boundary that OP had set, and her boyfriend definitely didn't respect it. I don't think the lockbox was an issue, and I don't think the snacks themselves were an issue. My personal gut says that there were some underlying issues going on. I do think that OP's boyfriend was on some sort of drugs, maybe some performance enhancers, because they do tend to have these side effects. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the story of Chris Benoit, but if you get a chance, definitely Google it. It's such a tragic story, and everyone sort of agrees that performance enhancers were the reason behind such tragic incidences. Anyways, I'm so glad that OP is safe. I'm so glad that she's out of there, and I wish her the best. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.